What's going on, y'all? What's going on? So, I wanted to stop by real quick. This was probably the only time I was gonna have to be able to present this to y'all. So we here. So the scouting report for the Texans and the Cowboys game, but looking at the Texans. So we're gonna get straight into it, y'all. We're gonna get straight into it. So starting with the Texans offense first. The key players is Joe Mixon, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, who should be back, CJ Stroud. Key matchups to watch is Laramie Tunsil versus Michael Parsons, Dalton Schultz versus Donovan Wilson, uh, Trayvon Diggs versus Nico Collins. I haven't looked at the Cowboys injuries report yet, but I last time I looked, it was very long. I was seeing, so take that in consideration. Uh, Tank Dell versus Carson, or maybe Lewis, and of course Mixon versus the front seven. So Tank Dell, somebody who's going to provide the downfield threat, crossing routes. I wouldn't be surprised if when Carson is on him that he'll hit him with the double move that he's been susceptible to, that Devontae Smith hit him with. I'm pretty sure that same double move is coming this game. They're gonna time it just right for him because I just don't see it from Carson. But some of y'all may still like him, but I never liked him to begin with. But that's definitely a matchup that they could potentially try to exploit. So CJ Stroud, I'm looking at CJ Stroud. Look, I don't know if you guys remember, but remember when we was watching CJ Stroud about a year or two ago, and I said that he has some Dak Prescott in him. I agree. And looking at the film, kind of just looking at him film-wise, I kind of still stand on that same sentiment. Now, granted, he looked like he's a more accurate quarterback than Dak, right? And he has shown the ability to lead game-winning drives. But he seems solid. I'm not saying he a bum. I'm not saying he a bum at all. So don't take this as I'm saying he's a bum, because he's not a bum. But I think people overrating him just a little bit. Just a little bit. I know it's his second year and he still got room to grow, and he could turn into something, right? I still, even with all the quarterbacks, I still had him as the second overall quarterback to Bryce Young. But there's some holes in his game that's Dak Prescott-ish, and that the Cowboys can't exploit. For one, his pocket presence. It ain't the best. Him maneuvering that pocket definitely ain't the best. Now, I know over time, now he's still young, so I won't be hard on that much, but that's an issue. Some decision making. There's gonna be some balls out there that the Dallas Cowboys can't take advantage of. I think he's more of an intermediate thrower. There was his awareness at times be off. There was a time in watching the last game against the Lions that they had an opportunity to pick because he was making a throw outside the numbers and the ball placement was bad. He threw it on the back of him, and it could have been picked. The Jets had a couple opportunities to pick. He's always seemed to run into sacks, so he's very sackable, but he can run, but he ain't the most mobile quarterback. He got that Byron Leftwich / maybe David Garrard in him, but he ain't the most mobile, but he can run for that first down. Right. In the words of Cam Newton, to me, so far in his career, game manager, which ain't a bad thing, but he definitely needs his wide receivers around him. Definitely needs that. Definitely needs them weapons. But the Texans do, have a little balanced attack. So this the thing with the Texans. I believe just before I went live, I heard Brian Bardis said the same thing in regards to the success of the runs. More to the outside and more to the left side, which is the best side of their offensive line, is the left side anyway. So you would expect that anyway, right? But we'll get more into the offensive line in a minute. Uh, but to be honest with you, that offense is at its best when Joe Mixon is pounding the ball. When they don't have a balanced attack, I think that's when things can get a little tricky for this offense. Uh, so with the Detroit game, defense provided 5 interceptions and they still lost the game. That does fall on the offense to a certain degree because the defense did their job. The offense should have executed, and they didn't. If they would have put up at least maybe one more field goal, one more touchdown, they get that game. That was a bad loss on a 5-turnover game. If we're just being honest, I know the quality of team Detroit is, but that still was a bad loss on a 5-turnover game. But speaking in terms of this game, Dalton Schultz could be a bigger key in regards to their offense this game, especially with Nico Collins coming back. Nico Collins is somebody that, is going to be probably the little bigger wide receiver that may take him inside, maybe run a little slants. I do see him go. I do see him have the ability, to go track that deep ball down. So it ain't, to me, from what I've seen so far of him, watching him to last year, it ain't like he just one dimensional, right? Like the wide receiver that we acquired, but definitely with the addition of Nico Collins this week, their offense should open up some more, right? Uh, in regards to looking at Bobby Slowick and the way he called plays, he looked like he gets too cute at times, right? Um, even though, what I'm saying, like, their success kind of goes on Joe Mixon, you know, they had tough running against the Lions, which to be expected, but it still was tough running. Uh, I seen and I evaluated that they missed a couple opportunities to cash out. They missed too many opportunities to cash out the Lions game, which costed them in the end. Uh, they yeah. But my conclusion and a couple games that I watched, they're not a physical offense at all. They're not physical at all. That offensive line ain't physical at all, not physical. Even though Laramie Tunsil is a good offensive lineman, his game ain't built off of physicality. His game is built off of athleticism. I did see a lot of tight formations, in regards to, so that's when that motion will come into play, right? They'll mixing can either come from the slot back to the backfield. I seen Tank Dale come from the outside to the backfield and vice versa. So they will motion you they'll throw a lot of eye candy at you, and they do try to get to the outside of you in regards to that. But like I said, during that right side, they don't get much running room. But on the left side, that's when they get the best chunk runs from. I did see a lot of 12 formation in regards to them. So regardless, from what I've seen from the game, a couple games that I watched, they're gonna run toward the tight end side, whether it be on the strength or the weak side. So say for instance, if the strength ain't on the double tight side, I seen Joe Mixon still run toward the double tight side. So I hope that the Cowboys will be on guard in regards to that. Bring the heat. Bring the heat. On that offensive line, the right guard and that center, there could be some barbecue chicken there. So having Michael line up on that center and maybe run some stunts, that could be an option. Putting some power on the right tackle, that could be an option too, because I've seen he was susceptible to bull rushes a couple times. So him playing with power didn't seem too much like he does. So that could be something right there. Like I said, CJ Stroud did make some poor decisions at times, which the Cowboys can't take advantage of. I didn't see the offensive line really get to the second level. I didn't see them get to the second level much. So there's another team that the Cowboys is facing that offensive line don't get to the second level at all. It was rare that I seen Kenyon Green a couple times, but it wasn't because he was working from the first level to the second level. It's because his objective was to get straight to the second level in regards to the blocking scheme that they was running that particular play. Uh, but yeah, slants on that center and the right guard and blitzes that could be successful. Overshown Micah, that could be successful for this team in this game. Uh, like I said, CJ Stroud gets sacked a lot. He gets sacked a lot, y'all. So that could be something to take advantage of. CJ Stroud, like I said, is just a game manager. You know, he does have some good ball placements. Like I said, he's not a bum, but I did see some Dak Prescott in that boy. Y'all should watch it and see. You know, I did see some Dak Prescott in that boy. You know, so well, you know, you take that as you must, though. But this offense, the Cowboys, if the Cowboys play physical, the D line, which they are doing a better job at. You know, you got to give them. I give them a little credit because they are doing a better job of doing their best to try to play physical with the limited talent that they got. Like with Golston, I seen Golston doing. He's doing a solid job in regards to squeezing down the line, offensive line, and getting some knockback with his hands, right? Because you know when we watch Golston, what do we have him as? We had him as a defensive end, a first and second down defensive end. And if you want to get the best in regards to his rushing ability, it should be on the inside, right? Now, you didn't have a coach that tried to put him on the inside full time. That was a mistake. But him going back to end, that's his natural position. Golston is a solid rotational player that if he continue to build, I'd be interested in having him for the future. I got time out by West Coast saying, if we could, I wish that we could trade Dak. He timed you out for that. He a loser for that. He a loser for that. Wow. Y'all can't say what y'all want. So if y'all not kissing their ass, then that's a problem. Wow. That's a loser move. He a loser for that. Key players on the defense: Will Anderson, Stingley, and Danielle Hunter. Key matchup: Stingley versus CD. Oh, that's a matchup to watch. Oh man, that's gonna be a good ass matchup, boy. Stingley could play. I like Stingley, man. When he came out of LSU, Stingley could play. He really sticky icky. You know, I like him. The tackles versus Anderson and Hunter. Oh man, that's probably the most important matchup, though. The second matchup is CD winning. But the most important matchup is how your tackles do against them pass rushers, because them pass rushers is the key to that defense. That's the key. They get a lot of pressure. They coming and they good. You know. Tim Settle, man. I remember Tim Settle a while back. Tim Settle was one of the ones that had a lot of potential, but just didn't meet his potential, but definitely had some talent. But their defensive tackles, though, including Tim Settle, they do get our blocks. They play solid. That defensive line is solid. That front seven, to be honest with you, that whole defense is solid. That's a good defense that we're playing. It's good defense that we're playing. But definitely the front seven with Aziz, they solid. They solid, no lie. But so I seen number 5, I believe that's Petrie, come on some blitzes, safety blitzes from the nickel. But you can't isolate him in coverage. So if you can get a wide receiver, man, that can go ahead and take him upfield, that's some barbecue chicken right there. I've seen, especially with against the Lions from both tight ends, they was able to kind of get upfield on them, so the tight ends was able to do some damage against them a little bit. Definitely, I've seen one on a corner route that they might see, like Ferguson, J-Hop. I believe, man, that they need to go ahead and up his yards per route on this one. I believe that he needs to work a lot into that intermediate side. You know, I would say that his routes, he need to be on average 9+ yards. 9+ yards. Because there's some room there if they take advantage of that. Let's see. They do run a lot of slants, but like I said, they ends do get upfield and get a lot of pressure and create turnovers. They play the run pretty solid though. So there was number 23. There was a time where he was had to make a decision and he made the bad decision, which led into a chunk play. So I would like to see if that's a reoccurring thing. Seeing that I haven't watched every play of that defense, so I would like to see if that's a reoccurring thing. Uh, let's see. Uh, they did get outflanked a couple times by Giggs in regards to something quick on the outside, a quick flat pass. And when they did, when the Lions did start getting a little bit room toward the end of the game, it was on the perimeter. I looked at the Jets game. When they got a little bit of room, it was toward the perimeter. So they might be able to outflank them defensive ends and see if we can get some room on the perimeter. So Rico better put his wheels on because Rico be hitting them holes kind of slow. And he do be leaving a lot of meat on that bone. So, you know, it might be the time where you might need to put a little bit more speed out there to see if you can get to that perimeter of this game. When they got aggressive upfield, the Lions was able to catch them on some screens. I seen Amon-Ra St. Brown against the when they were playing against the Lions. He was in motion a lot. They try to be creative a lot in regards to getting him the ball. He even scored on a wide receiver screen in the red zone. You know, so they was just trying to be creative, and I think Mike McCarthy will probably have to be creative a little bit because I think, especially the way CD plays, by just having them go at Stingley every play, just one on one. I don't know. This is interesting. I want to see if CD can win this one, because I think I think Sting, I think Stingley can play some ball, man, and I don't know if that's smart to just have him just go and go and go. I'll try to go ahead and match him up on see if I can match him up on Lassiter. I'll see if I can match him, see if I can get Petrie on him or something like that. Maybe Jimmy Ward or something like that. But Stingley, every play, I don't know. But I would love to see it though. I do want to see it. But Lassiter, I remember when we did Lassiter, I believe I had Lassiter as a top 5 corner coming out too. In his rookie class, Lassiter, he a solid rookie. He just needed to put some pounds on him. He just needed to get in that weight room, man, and eat a little bit, man. But he was pretty solid though coming out. Overall, this defense is good. So they're going so they better be ready. Do I believe that Cooper Rush will have a better game than he did last game? I believe so, but it's still going to be tough though. It's going to be tough. It's going to be probably one of the better defense that you've been facing in a few weeks now. So they better be ready. I'm gonna be honest with you though. Because y'all know usually I'm like CD got the advantage. I don't know if CD got the advantage this game, but see, is Stingley come to play, man? I don't know. I think CD might be on clamp, man. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. CD got locked up by the Eagles quarterback. He not no number one. Don't care about the stats. And if he get locked up by the Eagles quarterback, right? Stingley definitely coming through with the clamps. That's a bad boy, man. I was looking at him in the playoffs, man. That boy was straight clamp. Stingley, when he healthy, man, he one of the better ones. Stingley really clamping, y'all. They got them a good pass rush. They got them 2 ends that can go get it. Solid linebacker play. And they got them a lockdown corner with some solid safety play. Come on, man. That defense is well put together. Well put together. The D tackles, man, they went on ahead and got the couple D tackles, man, that had to underperform but had the talent. And if you can get them in the right situation and the right scheme and motivate them, that they can go ahead and give you something that they never gave before. And it's looking like that's what they're getting. Because one thing's for sure, I don't see them D tackles getting pushed back. I see them D tackles staying at the line and creating a new line of scrimmage and getting all blocks. It's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be an interesting game for both your interiors. And when I mean both, I mean Beebe and Martin, because Martin been getting his ass whooped lately. Last game, Martin was getting his ass whooped. What's his name? Carter was whooping his ass. Whooped his ass. So, this going to be interesting right here. And now, I mean, the good part is that, in regards to the athleticism, I believe that Guyton is better for the job in regards to going against athletic defensive ends. But if they choose to go ahead and try to maybe speed the power or play with some power, it's going to be an issue. Now, I seen something on Twitter, man, that I guess, is going around that they think that Austin Richards could be the better option. Nah, he's not. He's not. He plays solid though, but he's not the better option though, family. You know, you got to take into consideration also the competition, as well. Like you going against Graham and you going against Sweat. They're nowhere near collectively as good as the defensive ends for the Houston Texans. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. So they got to take that into consideration. A lot of things they just going off of performance, which is cool. And it's good that I got somebody that can go from guard to tackle, at least on the left side, right? A left side player. So that's valuable. Just like Tyler Smith is a left side player. So that's valuable, But at the same time, you got to look at also the competition, and that competition definitely wasn't up to par on what you're going to see this week on that defense. We have a better chance this week than the last week. Yeah, I can agree with you on that. They do have a chance. Yeah, if the defense can go ahead and create a couple turnovers, which will be there for them, if Zimmer can get a little bit more creative this week, because one thing I do like, the one thing we do have, right? You can move Micah all around, but one thing that I do like is key is that you got two linebackers that can go get it on the blitz, and that's Overshown and that's Leofau. Leofau's best thing about him is his ability to blitz, because damn near every time he blitz, he damn near get home. So I don't understand why Zimmer don't even go ahead and heat him up a lot more, because he damn near gets home every time he blitzes. That's the best thing about him. So I will continue to blitz that man. In this game, on that right side, I want y'all to look at that center. I want y'all to look at from the center to the right tackle. That's where they can go ahead and get their money at. Unfortunately, what they'll do with Micah is they'll probably in pass rush situations, if he's on Tunsil, which if he consider himself the best, he should want smoke on that side. If he call himself a lion, he should want smoke on that side. So Tunsil, they're gonna one-on-one him. On the right side, they'll chip him. They'll put more attention on them. So look for that. Team sucks, but hey, there's still a small chance to turn around. And, there's always a chance, There's always a chance, I'll be honest with you. I do. They haven't look, because I know I don't be selling hope. They do. Dallas fan, you are correct though. You are correct. They do have a shot this game. They do have a shot. This game could be won for the Cowboys. One, predicated on if the defense continue to play like they did in that first half, and if they could try to put a full game together. Now, I understand Texas is going to score a little bit. I understand that. But if they could put a solid game together with a couple turnovers, and if the offense can hold the ball some and put some drives together, this team could beat the Texans. And I believe that Cooper Rush can't play no worse than what he did last game. If he could play worse, if he plays worse than he did last game, then Trey Lance should just get the rest of the year. Because I don't think he could play any worse than he did last game. But I don't think Cooper Rush is going to play bad. I think Cooper Rush is going to play good. From what he got, I think Cooper Rush is going to play a good game. I think he's going to show why we've been saying, that he's the better option, even though he's a backup quarterback and don't have a strong arm. So we're going to see. I'm interested in this game. It's just one of the ones, like I say, he just had a bad game. It is what it is. It happens, but it'll be concerning if you do it this game, the same thing. Now, I understand he might get heat up a little bit. They're going to come. Steele and them better be ready, because they're going to come. He better hold on to the football, because them defensive ends, they coming, y'all. CD, I swear. CD, if you want to get that bad taste out of your fans' mouth, win your one-on-one matchup with Stingley, so we could put some respect on your name. Because right now, what we remember is, as Dallas fans say, you ain't do nothing last game. Shoulder or not, you still should have did more. One thing I also remember is that you getting clamped Green Bay game. That's one thing I do remember. Because at the end of the day, right, play calling or not, you still can get open if you really cold like that. Even when Dez Bryant was covered, he still was open. Can we say the same thing about CD? Even when he's covered, he's still open. Because one thing's for sure, Cooper Rush gonna give him a shot. Cooper Rush gonna give him more of a shot than Dak Prescott ever would. So can you get open? Can you get open quick? Oh, I can't wait for this game, y'all. Hey, I can't wait. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. See, because like these other games, man, I ain't been tripping. I'm just like, I already knew the outcome because of who we got. But Cooper Rush, even though he's a backup quarterback, man, there's a reason why he's a backup quarterback. But even though he's a backup quarterback, I still feel better than I did with my starting quarterback. I don't care what nobody say, and I don't care how the last game went. I still feel better about going into this game, even though even though I know we got a shot, we can have a shot. I don't expect to win, but we have a shot. And if we win, I would not be surprised. And if they put some drives together, you got a shot to take it down to the end. You could take it to the end, and whoever gonna make the play, the 2 or 3 plays is gonna win the game. So if you can get it toward the end, you know what I want to see? I want to see like a 17-17 game with Cooper Rush having the ball with a minute and a half left. Oh, I want to see that against a good defense too. Oh, I want to see that. Oh, I want to see that. I want to see that. Appreciate that, Dallas fan. Dak says, why people act if one bad game defines Rush? Look at Dak versus Tampa 2020. Yeah, and that Broncos game. Now I could have swore, man, Dak had a horrible game. Uh, man, didn't he have less than 100 yards in that Bronco game? If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong though. I could be wrong, but I could have swore it was less than 100 in that Bronco game. You know, it happens. Cooper Rush is 5-2. Cooper Rush, Cooper Rush got some game winning. What was it against that Vikings game? That Vikings game, he beat the Bengals. Come on now. Come on now. Cooper Rush beat some quality teams. Dak ain't beat. What quality teams do you say Dak beat though? On some real. You lost to the Packers. You got beat by the Niners. Tampa Bay that year wasn't no good team. You choked against the Green Bay Packers about a year or two ago, a couple years ago. You choked against the Jaguars. You got beat by the Jaguars. Like, come on now. You lost to the Ravens. They can't beat the Bills. The Bills been beating your ass. They beat your ass last year, and then they beat your ass on that Thanksgiving Day. Had Jordan Phillips doing the feed me thing. So I mean, so of course, one game, they always react on one game, but I don't, We admit, we like, oh yeah, he didn't play he didn't play well. Okay, but that don't define him though. Shit, everybody done had a bad game before. Shit, check him out this week. Now, if he play like that this week, then okay. He just ain't playing with. You know what I mean? But I don't think he gonna play like that. I think he gonna do what he can. I think he gonna do solid. I think he gonna do solid. It's gonna be interesting though. I'm definitely if they're gonna play Zeke this game, I'm definitely leaving him in. Give Cooper Rush some protection. The running backs in regards to pass pro definitely needs to be on point. Definitely with them ends. I would definitely with chip. I'm chipping them ends. I want Zeke to give hard rib shots this game. Hard rib shots this game. I want to slow him down. I'm cut blocking them ends. I want to cut block them ends this game. If you wanted to go ahead and give CD something on the outside, them little jet sweeps that they've been going, this game will probably be the best game to do it. But they'll probably be on alert for that though. So what can you do? Boom. Fake CD, boom. Get a little toss to the running back. Fake CD, jet sweep, boom. Toss it to the running back. That's a chunk right there. If they know that every time you get a ball to CD, boom, they ready for that. Oh man, they always get a ball to CD. So they're gonna over pursue. Boom. Man, hit the back shot on them, hit the weak side, boom. That's a chunk play. Mike McCarthy got to call a good game. He has to have some creativity this game. He got to. He got to. But it's gonna be interesting, y'all. Trust and believe. Yeah, the matchups though, we want to cover probably gonna have to cover a lot of these matchups because I'm looking. Man, I'm looking. I'm telling you, uh, I'm interested. These are the matchups that I'm probably gonna try to look for in the game. Even though I know during the TV copy it'll be harder for a couple of them. I want to look at CD versus Stingley. I want to look at Guyton versus how he do. See if he's improved. I'm looking at Cooper Beebe and his and how he handles stunts. I'm looking at Michael Parsons to see if he can actually win versus a solid offensive tackle for the first time in his career. Somebody gonna have to step up though outside of CD though. Ferguson and somebody else. Who was gonna be? I don't know. But somebody gonna have to do it. Somebody gonna have to do it. Who is it gonna be? We're gonna find out Sunday. But all right, y'all, man. I just wanted to come through and present that a little bit, just to kind of let you know a little something on what to expect. Till the next time, y'all. We gone.